Yes, sir.
Ooh, got them chops too, boy. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Doing good.
Thanks for having me on your show.
No
It's all good.
problem.
Now, Chris, I saw I don't know, maybe it was a year ago.
Okay.
There's a video on social media,
Uh-huh.
and you were, I believe, driving to Georgia or Florida from Chicago or somewhere, and you got pulled over by the police.
Yeah.
Let's start right there.
Yeah.
Let's start right there.
Okay. So, last year, I was going to see my ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
And we were going to Orlando. And the police pulled me over, and they asked registration and all that stuff. But he was asking personal questions like, where are you going? What are you doing? What are you guys gonna be doing when you get there? Stuff like that.
Did you answer him?
Yes, ma'am. But at the time, I'm very spontaneous, so I can get up and I can go, and I won't know what hotel I'm stay at until I get to the city. That's just how I do
So
it.
you didn't know where you were going?
Yeah, so I was like, hey, I'm going to Orlando, but I don't know exactly what hotel I'm gonna stay at yet.
Right.
I haven't, picked it out. And he was like, oh, that's interesting. He said, I can't really hear you. Can you step out the car? And I got out of the car.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, I need to check your car to make sure there's no dead bodies in there.
What?
And
Dead bodies.
Dead bodies?
said,
Exactly.
yeah, so I was like, man, this don't make no sense. So I was like, hey, can I call, my lawyer real quick? I called my dad, and he was like, yeah. So he gave me the phone. I called my dad, and I told him immediately what was going on, where I was at and stuff.
Right.
And I just started filming and stuff, and it was the weirdest thing. So I called and talked to his supervisor and everything, and they apologized.
And what happened to that officer?
I'm not sure the end result of that, but I did file a complaint.
Well, you're alive.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And that's the whole point. He's alive to tell the story. Now, before we get into your success, you were homeless for a moment.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that.
All right. So initially, I from Chicago, South Side of Chicago, and when I left Chicago.
Can I say something real
Yes,
quick
sir.
before I get in trouble? Make sure you look at me and Sasha, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes.
I'm trying to manage
It's
talking on the mic.
because you're on the mic and you're going
Well,
back
remember,
and
just
forth.
pay attention to this more than anything.
Yes,
okay?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
But
trying
I'm
to
an
make sure.
eye contact person, so he must have felt these eyes.
Yes, I felt
You
your
felt
eyes
it.
burning him through
Like
one
you're-
side
I'm not
and
in the back,
penetrating to
you know.
me. I was like,
I'm
what
trying
is
to
that
manage-
heat?
You know
I'm
what?
trying to manage
We'll learn
going
to
back and
manage
forth.
today, okay?
Extrasensory perception is like, please have
He
this.
knows me well.
He better be talking to me. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute, I'm going to make it a little bit easier for you. Go ahead.
All right. So, what was the question?
He done forgot about being homeless.
Okay, yes. So I was living in Chicago, and I was a car salesman at the time. And serving as a car salesman, I was just tired of going through the cycles of fighting over who customer it was, going through the process of seeing police officers shooting at our, young black men and our young black men killing each other. I was just sick of being around that environment. So I felt like I wanted to do something different. So I sold my car and moved to Phoenix, Arizona for finance school. The finance school was a trade school. It was about $12,000 at that time. So once I got to Phoenix, finished school, the only place that would hire me was a small dealership in South Florida. I knew I didn't have that much money, so I understood that I was going to be sleeping in my car. So I rented a car because I had sold my car. I rented a car, and I said, I will sleep in my car until I get my first couple of paychecks,
Okay.
and I'll be able to get me an apartment. Well, I didn't make the amount of money that I thought I was going to be making there, so I ended up sleeping in a car going on 3 months.
You never said anything I heard you say earlier about calling your father. You never thought about calling your parents or.
I wanted to figure it out on my own.
Okay.
So my family actually was mad. I told them the last month while I was still sleeping
That you
in the
were
car.
homeless.
Yeah, my mom called me. She said, hey, something ain't right. What's going on?
Because I'm on my way to get my baby.
and I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm staying in the Airbnb. I was
Lying.
lying. Yeah, I was lying. And I was like, I'm staying in the Airbnb. I'm good. Don't worry about anything. She's like, no, something ain't right. And I just confessed. I was like, yo, I've been sleeping in the car since I got here.
And mind you, Chris comes from a family who ain't broke.
What's your father's name?
It's Chris Williams.
So your father's Chris. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Is that what? Did they come get you?
No.
Okay.
So my grandma said, yo, the show is over. Go to the airport, pick up your ticket. And I said, with all due respect, I've never told her no in my life.
Yeah.
She'll get you. I said, with all due respect, no, I can't do it.
You needed to do this.
I got to figure this out. And I said, I'm not leaving till I figure it out.
That's when he became a man.
Yeah.
You became a man. How old were you?
So this was last year. So I'm 26. It was 25.
So just 25.
Yeah.
You became a man.
Wow.
No, seriously.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you went to finance school. Did you know exactly then what you wanted to do with your life?
No,
what was
sir.
the goal there?
No, sir. So I had friends that had went to the school and they were making like $20,000-$30,000 a month.
Right.
So I knew that as a finance manager, that's what I was going to be making. So
Right.
that's why I was able to say, hey, yo, I'm willing to make that sacrifice and sleep in the car now because I knew exactly I'll be making something around there eventually.
Okay.
Well, that didn't happen the first 3-4 months.
So pause for a second. We're talking to Chris Williams. He's the youngest black owner of a Subway franchise in Atlanta, and he was just homeless a year ago.
Can you quickly just tell us the address of that franchise so every black person can go to it? What's the address of this one?
It's 3162 Johnson Ferry Road.
Wait a minute. You on Johnson's Ferry Road in Atlanta?
Yeah, it's Marietta.
Oh, and you up in Marietta?
Yes, ma'am. It's not too far from here.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're doing quite well going now.
Yeah. So you paid $12,000
Yes.
for the finance school,
Yes.
knowing that you make about $20,000-$30,000 a month.
Yes, sir.
Preach. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Would you say preach,
Yes.
Roy?
Yes.
Preach.
Yeah.
So I did that. I didn't make that initially. So what's
Right.
crazy is when I got there to Miami, the manager that was interviewing me,
Uh-huh.
he said, hey, why should I hire you? And I told him, and he said, where did you sleep last? Just randomly. And I slept in the car. I would put my clothes in the cleaners before I went to the night before I went to sleep in the car. And in the morning, I would go shower and I would get my clothes out of the cleaners, put them on in the car while I'm driving so I can make sure I get to work on
Where
time.
were you shower?
Yes.
Yeah.
Planet Fitness.
Okay.
Oh, so you act like you was working out and just running there?
It got to a point where it was just like they knew.
They just
They was
and they didn't
just
say
go-
anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would just go in there, and I used to pretend, and I was like, man, whatever.
Just
You
let
know?
me go shower, brush my teeth,
yeah.
and get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a running joke though. I say, particularly in Miami, I said, if you are married or in a relationship, go to Planet Fitness and work out. Don't go to LA
Fitness. So you're supporting where you was getting a bath. Okay, I get it. Wow.
You will be faithful at Planet Fitness.
Well, isn't that crazy? He asked you where you slept last night.
Yeah.
Right.
So I told him that, and he said, to be honest with you, he said, I lost everything about 10 years ago.
He felt
Wow.
something.
Yeah. He said, I lost everything 10 years ago. And he then asked, I'm sorry, why should I hire you? And I said, because I have nothing to lose. I said, I have everything to gain. I said, I have to prove to you that I am better and can outperform all of the other finance managers that you have in the dealership. And he said, when do you want to start?
Man, I love that.
I do
I love
too.
that. I always ask people, if you have 3 people who have the same talent, who gets the job?
Mm-hmm.
The one who outperforms the
A
others.
hustler,
That's
baby.
it.
Yes, sir.
That's always it.
Yes, sir.
Now, owning
Yeah.
a franchise, I've done some research. It's
Okay.
very expensive to own a franchise. So, where did you gather the money to do that?
So it's really tough going into like exact detail. But I saved my money.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you was doing very good at this dealership,
Yes, ma'am.
and you banked everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know
yes,
what?
ma'am.
I was telling Sasha the story about my son. He's about your age.
Okay.
And he was working at Walmart in the deli department.
Oh wow.
And I said, how much money do you have? He said, I saved $15,000. I said, wait. I said, how much money do you have?
Not $15
And I
saved.
said, how did you do it? Because I just want to know how he did it as a young man. I wasn't asking for myself, but I was proud of him, right?
Wow.
And he said simply, I spend everyone else's money.
Wow.
And that's what
Yours.
people do. No, not mine.
Okay.
But that's what people do in business, though.
Yeah.
They spend everyone else's money.
Yeah.
Not theirs.
Oh
You know?
yeah. And I learned, and I might be going off track a little bit, but going through this process, I will never go without funding for a business ever again. Once you learn
Yep.
how to do so, you never have a problem with funding again. Like I raised separate from Subway,
Mm-hmm.
I raised six figures.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, I have people now, and my statement was not referring to this, but I have people that inbox me every week like, "Yo, I just made $75,000 from Forex. I need to invest this with you. What can I do?"
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell people like, "Yo, I got a vetting process. Like I got other ventures that I'm going into, but I have a vetting process. We need to make sure
Right.
we get
Who
a
are
loan."
you?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
We
Yeah.
need to make, like, I don't care about your money. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We need to make sure that we mesh, because I look at it like this. A business partnership is a marriage, and a marriage or actual marriage is a business partnership.
Mhm.
That's right.
So if we don't get along,
It's not going to work.
it's gonna be a nasty divorce.
Yeah.
That's
We're gonna
right.
go through, you know what I'm saying, a whole
Yeah.
bunch of custody hearings,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So
Because the reason you got together in the first place would have been money.
yes,
Mhm.
sir.
And that the divorce would be just as ugly.
Yes, sir.
Where is my money? Where's my half?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
But it's so many different things that you can do to raise funds. Like somebody made a comment on Instagram. It's like, can't nobody do that?
Yes, they
But
can.
you can, like literally, with an SBA loan, you only need 10% down on the.
Okay, so break it down. SBA loan. I mean, a lot of people don't know the services that is provided to you for free to help you start a business.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
And did they help you write the business plan and get
So
the funding?
no, actually, I didn't use the SBA loan. I actually got a true story. I got approved for $150,000 SBA loan at the last minute for my store.
You have good credit.
Yeah, yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
all
So
right.
I was going to use the loan and then use other funds that
Mhm.
I had to pay for the store for other business ventures.
Got it.
But at the last minute, I decided not to do so or
Mhm.
whatnot. But an SBA loan is basically a loan that is backed by a government. And what happens is they guarantee the loan with a bank.
Mm-hmm.
So you might go to Wells Fargo or you might go to a Bank of America, whoever offers an SBA loan, and you're more likely to get approved because you have the backing of the government.
Right.
They require what they call a 10%, depending on the bank, 10 to 30%, what they call a cash injection. And that is the down payment, what they require you to put down during the time of closing.
Well, they need to know that you're invested in your business, and a lot of young people don't remember that. You
Mhm.
want the bank to give you money,
Yes, yeah.
but what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah.
So you needed some coins.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had 10 to 30%?
So I didn't use that, but I did have that for them if
Right.
I would have went through with it. Yes, ma'am.
I'm impressed.
Listen,
I'm just impressed.
you need to be impressed because he's actually having a workshop for
Oh.
people who want to follow the same model as he did to get where he is.
I was gonna wait maybe like 3-4 years to tell this, but
Oh, good. You're
the
telling us first?
We're getting it first.
We're getting it
You're
first?
getting it first.
Yes.
So the first week, and I have to be very careful how I word things.
Okay.
First week, I got there, my whole staff quit on me.
Oof.
I'm the old manager, and it was brutal because I had to do everything.
Yep.
Oh my.
The first day that I opened my store, we didn't have bread for an hour because I didn't bake the bread because I got so busy with customers
That you forgot.
I didn't have it. I didn't.
You
it
have
wasn't that I
time.
didn't forget. I just
Right.
didn't have the opportunity to go there because I was trying to deal with the customers we had there.
And did you know
Wow.
the process of everything
I knew the process, but
Yeah.
it was overwhelming because I'm in a store where it's East Cobb, so
Yes.
Missy Elliott comes to our store and gets Subway.
It's
Right.
money.
It's
And that-
money for
yes.
people pull up in Lamborghini trucks, come get their Subway, get out, and that's it. So you don't let them wait. You have to deal with them.
Get their sandwiches.
And let them go. So it was rough because I'm dealing with lunch and dinner rushes by myself. And I'm talking about we do probably like 150 subs a day, 120, 150 subs a day. So imagine having 5-7 people waiting in line. You're doing the meats, putting the bread on, you're doing the vegetables, bringing them up. You get rid of that one customer, 2 more come in.
And you washed your hands and put the gloves back on and made the sandwiches, right?
Yeah.
Did you want to cry?
I actually would act like I needed to go get something in the back. And I would lay on the ground like, God, what did
Help
I
me,
get
right?
myself into?
God.
My son, you asked for this. You wanted to be a franchise owner.
But you know what? Really, you needed to go through that to
Yeah.
know how to run your own business.
That's
Yes,
right.
yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just joking.
I mean, what was it like for your family the moment you told them that you had become a franchise owner?
So initially,
And because you had gone viral too.
yeah.
Megan Good even posted something on you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
She's married, but go ahead.
no, she is, but she got some single friends. So I'm just throwing that out there,
Some single fine friends.
Yeah. Our kids will be trust fund babies. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so my family was excited, but they saw a lot of people, and I can't really go into detail, but I went through a whole lot of turmoil this summer. Like, I went to the hospital. Like, I was so stressed out during this process that I was in the ER, leading up to me taking the store. I didn't announce it because I'm not the type of person, I don't want attention, on stuff like that.
Right.
But I was putting in work day and night, like working hard to ensure everything went well. So my family was just like, yo, you need to reconsider this. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing this now, what will you do after? And I'm like, yo, I got this. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been the grace of God. So my family is happy for me, you know what I'm saying, in this process. And they proud. I went to Chicago the other week, and my grandmother, she was like, when I go up there on the pulpit, I want you to sit next to me. I'm like, I'm not an elder.
She's
I want to show you
proud.
off.
She's proud. Doesn't that make you feel good, though?
Oh, it makes me feel amazing. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Since having the franchise as a new businessman, did you put yourself on salary? Because that's other things that we need to talk about when we have all that money coming in. What to do with the money? So, are you on salary, or you just take it all?
No. So I'm on salary. However, I've not paid myself yet.
Okay.
So I've worked more hours than anybody, probably almost combined in the store, but for the first month. But I didn't pay myself because in the first month as an entrepreneur, you have expenses. And I didn't want the business to fail because I wanted to pad my pocket. So I had to create other streams of income. Like, I flip cars. I go to the auction, buy cars for $1,000, maybe sell them for $3,000-$4,000, stuff like that. And then I'm getting ready to start flipping houses and stuff. So up front, I knew I wasn't going to make a lot of money with Subway up front because of the expenses, but eventually the money will roll in based on, after that period of making paying those upfront costs.
Nice.
Anything else you want to share with us?
Eat Subway.
True story. Somebody told me this. They put on their story on Instagram. They said, "Hey, home of the hoagie." I don't know if you're from Chicago.
I'm not.
He's from Chicago,
Yeah.
so home of the hoagie. So
Exactly,
It's like
yeah.
I hear in my spirit, home of the hoagie. So I type back. We got this little thing in Pentecostalism where we talk about what we hear in the spirit. So I was like, I hear in my spirit, eat fresh.
Subway.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chris, thank you, man. I appreciate it, y'all. This is Chris Williams, the second.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's the youngest owner of a Subway franchise. He was homeless last year, and this is it, man. You're seeing it right here. It can happen to any one of us. If
Stop saying you
truly
can't do
believe
something.
What you can do. Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.